There is something difficult to explain when you see two people sharing a space, sharing breaths, sharing small moments that seem trivial but leave a deep impression. The same is true when we watch the interaction between Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan. Every movement, every glance, every smile they share seems to compose a story that they never say directly, but is clearly felt in the hearts of anyone who watches closely. There is a warmth that cannot be faked, a comfort that cannot be manufactured, and a chemistry that even the camera cannot hide. When Yibo walks beside Xiao Zhan, there is a soft aura that follows his footsteps. The man who is known to be cold, quiet, and unpredictable suddenly turns into someone who seems more human, more gentle, more alive. It was as if only Xiao Zhan's presence could melt the solid wall he always built around himself. There were many moments captured on screen, small moments that might seem like normal interactions to the average person. But for those who are sensitive to body language, every second was a love story written by two hearts trying to remain calm. Just look at how Yibo's eyes always search for Xiao Zhan, even in a large room, even in a crowd. He won't say anything, but his eyes will glance in the same direction, making sure that Xiao Zhan is within his sight. There is a protective tendency that emerges so naturally, so intuitively, as if his body moves faster than his mind. When Xiao Zhan walks too fast, Yibo will quicken his pace. When Xiao Zhan slows down, Yibo will adjust accordingly. And when Xiao Zhan laughs, Yibo will pause for a moment, just to look at him. Yibo's gaze toward Xiao Zhan is not an ordinary gaze. It is the gaze of someone whose heart has long since surrendered. There was curiosity, admiration, and the tenderness of someone who wanted to protect, but didn't dare to say it. A gaze too honest to hide, but too intimate to reveal. There were moments when Xiao Zhan wasn't talking to Yibo, but Yibo still looked at him, as if wanting to absorb every little detail that made up someone so meaningful to him. And when Xiao Zhan noticed that gaze, a small smile appeared on his face, a smile that only appears when someone feels cared for in a way that warms the heart. Yibo's smile, which is so rare and precious, somehow always comes more easily when Xiao Zhan is around. Sometimes it appeared so quickly it seemed uncontrollable. Other times it emerged slowly, like warmth creeping from the heart. Yibo himself might not realize it, but any fan who watched their videos would know. Wang Yibo's best smile was the one created by Xiao Zhan. There was a hint of shyness, a touch of nervousness, but also a happiness he couldn't hide. Yibo's cheeks turn red, his eyes soften, and his body leans forward slightly, like someone trying to hide feelings that are already too obvious. Their relationship isn't just about glances or smiles. There is body language that speaks louder than words. When they sit side by side, Yibo's body naturally leans towards Xiao Zhan without him realizing it. When they passed each other, Yibo always gave way slightly, as if respecting Xiao Zhan's space, but still making sure that the distance between them was never too far. On many occasions, Yibo was seen adjusting his body position so that he could still see Xiao Zhan without being too obvious, but the camera, as usual, never really managed to fool him. There was one moment that fans often quoted, when Yibo gently adjusted Xiao Zhan's microphone. The movement was quick, simple, and almost reflexive. But there was a clear warmth, a long-held touch that still appeared when it was accidental. Xiao Zhan glanced over, smiled faintly, and Yibo just looked down, hiding an expression that seemed to say, "I didn't mean to, but I care." And what's even more beautiful is how Xiao Zhan responds to all of this in his own way. Xiao Zhan always looks at Yibo with eyes full of warmth, as if he sees someone he trusts more than anyone else. He also had a small habit. When Yibo spoke, he would tilt his head slightly, listening intently, giving Yibo the space to be himself. There was no pressure, no demands. Only pure, sincere, and pleasant acceptance. It was as if Xiao Zhan knew that to make someone like Yibo feel comfortable, all he needed to do was be himself. The intimacy between them emerges in small details: hands that almost touch, footsteps that naturally fall in sync, laughter that erupts at the same moment, gazes that seem to finish each other's thoughts without words. At times, the world around them seemed to fade away, leaving only two men who understood each other in silence. Even when they were busy with their hectic schedules or on the big stage, there was an invisible line that connected them, a line that even the camera couldn't break. When Xiao Zhan talks about Yibo, there is a softness in his voice, as if the memory of their time together always brings a special warmth. And when Yibo talks about Xiao Zhan, even though he tries to remain cool, his lips always curl up slightly, his eyes blink more often, and there is a small warmth that flows like a gentle current. They don't need to admit it. The world can see for itself how the heart works. There is also a sense of protectiveness that is often seen in Yibo. He is not the type of person who likes to show excessive concern. But every time Xiao Zhan is too close to a crowd, Yibo will move closer. Every time Xiao Zhan looks uncomfortable, Yibo will turn his head. Every time Xiao Zhan looks tired, Yibo will pay more attention than usual. His movements are not dramatic, not big, but consistent. A man doesn't act like that if he doesn't have deep feelings. The comfort they have is also too natural to be explained in simple words. They can stand in silence without feeling awkward. They can stare at each other for a long time without looking away. They can share small laughs for no apparent reason. This is not easy for people who have just met. This is the comfort of two hearts that have grown accustomed to each other, that have gone through moments behind the scenes, that may have shared little secrets, grown tired together, and understood each other without demanding anything. Sometimes, love is not present in grand declarations or dramatic words. Love comes in small, unplanned gestures, unspoken attentions, and comfort that grows unnoticed. When Yibo and Xiao Zhan are in the same room, there is a soft energy that surrounds them, as if the world allows them to be themselves, and only the two of them understand what it all means. And perhaps this is what makes their relationship so captivating. No declarations, no scandals, no explosive confessions. Just two men touching each other's hearts through small gestures. Just two hearts speaking in a secret language that is so beautiful, so intimate, so romantic. Fans see it, feel it, and smile along every time Yibo looks a little nervous or Xiao Zhan looks too warm. In the end, is this love? No one can say for sure. But if love is about caring for someone without being asked, about melting just by seeing their smile, about feeling comfortable without words, about small gestures that mean so much, then maybe love is closer than it seems. And if you see how Wang Yibo acts when he's around Xiao Zhan, how his gaze softens, how his steps change, how his smile appears, you might ask yourself, is this just a coincidence, or has his heart long since fallen? The answer may never be spoken, but the human heart always knows the truth that cannot be hidden. And in every small gesture, love seems to be present, quietly, gently, yet so strongly that the world feels it too.